Hello, and welcome to this Mega Joy presentation of the Trinity model. This is the fifth in our 10-part series of shorts, which are summarizing the basic tenets, the basic concepts of the Trinity model. And the way we're doing that is we're talking about really the four basic concepts in all of reality. Okay, there really are four basic concepts. Two of them are inside. You got your head and you got your heart inside of you. And then outside of you, you got the way your head plays in terms of objective knowledge. And you've got the way your heart plays in terms of emotions, okay? And so we're now going to be dealing with the fourth type of storm, which is an exterior type of storm. And it has to do with who is the designated authority, okay? So we're talking about authority, but really authority in terms of relationship. And so sometimes there will be a designated authority. So what the fireman says when there's a fire going on, that's what we're going to listen to. Now, of course, relationships many and most times do not have the designated authority. Okay, many times they are of equal status. So let's say students in a classroom, teachers in the teacher workroom, co-workers, ideally spouses, okay? Of course, with differing kind of roles they play, but in terms of authority, should be relatively equal. Now, but that again, of course, and I do not need to tell the audience, that is where most of the drama occurs, okay? And so, we're talking about this now. In your heart, you have your emotions. This is all about a trust issue. Trust is to authority as truth is to power. And we're dealing with the trust-authority issue right now. And so, in your heart, you process the emotions, okay? There's something comes in from the environment. You process it through your emotions, okay? Or maybe stay there, whatever. But they go through your emotions, and then they result in some form of motivation. Which again, the key concept with the motivation is, this is where your choice takes place, okay? You analyze objective things in reality. Your head does the analysis. Your heart is the CEO of your soul. Your heart is the one who pulls the trigger, who pulls the string, who makes the choice, who makes the decision. This is where your spirit resides. This is where most people live, is in their heart, okay? And so this is where most things occur in terms of how people deal with reality. And emotions are one of the primary ways that reason and logic and knowledge get overruled. And we'll talk later about how to deal with that as an individual. But again, these two things are inside. Your reasoning capacity and your emotional maturity, your ability to make wise choices, okay? And so, but now we're down here into this, and so the authority in the environment, this is where you deal with your ethical issues. Okay, maybe up here they're kind of moral issues. How do you perceive yourself and relation to other people? But then when it plays out in a classroom or in the work environment or on the road, or wherever it may play out, it then becomes an ethical issue, but ultimately it is an issue of relationship. Okay? Up here we have a singular person, i.e. yourself, and you are the author of yourself. But now, when we get down into the environment where there's a relationship, now all of a sudden we have two or more authors who are writing the story. And I am going to demonstrate how we can reasonably deal with these kinds of issues. The first thing is to understand these four types of storms and to start to get some understanding of how it applies to you as an individual and how it plays out in the environment. Now, there are many circumstantial things we have no control over. And there are many things regarding other people we have no control over. And so what we're going to have to do eventually is focus on the two things we do have. And that is our ability to process knowledge and truth, and our ability to process kind of our emotions and our motivation. And not necessarily our feelings. Again, this is your spirit. This is what drives your soul. There are two metrics in defining your soul. And one is your being. This is your being right here. Okay? And this is your doing up here. And for anyone who has children, your children know what you do and who you are. Thank you very much for your attention.